I thought it was standing here supporting a terrorist organisation. I don't care, you're all a bunch of terrorists to me, I don't care. So it seems as we arrive, there's quite a few people there already.
Who are you?
Huh?
Who are you?
Who am I?
Just a private person?
I'm just me, yeah. Yeah.
Who am I?
I'm just me.
I think all publicity is good publicity.
That's how you should think, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've been places before where I've just been attacked just from standing here saying nothing. Yeah.
I'm not do that.
So.
They're not the police. That's it. You need to keep moving. That's the main thing. You've got to know.
So far, it seems like the friendliest bunch of Palestine protesters I've ever met, I've ever seen. Still early yet. Very smartly worded.
Sorry?
Sorry, just talking to my microphone. I'm saying it's very smartly worded. You've used your brain cells on that one.
Whether I get arrested or not, whether it's smart.
Well, that's true. That's true. I mean, the Palestine action bit could still get you arrested, but the little hyphenated bit before it could possibly stop you getting arrested as well. 50-50 chance you've took being here today with that sign.
Are you with the group or?
No. I'm just an independent person of media. That is it.
Okay.
But I say independent.
What media is that?
I say independent. I'm a citizen journalist. I'm going to say that because that's more factual than independent. Because I do have my own views. I just don't talk about them that often.
There's not much balance in the media, is there?
I just report on what happens here today.
I'm not talking about you, but I mean in
mainstream media.
TV stations.
Mainstream media, yeah, it's full of bullshit. Yes.
GB News and Now Talk look like a load of ex-bookies, don't they? That are...
To be fair, I don't know much about GB News myself. Yeah. I only know the common ones, you know, the proper mainstream media that's been on TV since I was a kid. And my mum always used to watch it. They're the mainstream medias I talk about.
So how do you get your media out there then? What outlet do you use?
Me, YouTube.
And what's your YouTube channel?
Ryan Rampage. Yeah. YouTube is more than likely the way forward for people to get the real action across. Because whatever does happen gets posted to YouTube. And that's as simple as that.
Yeah.
You know.
Are you locally based?
Locally based? No, I've travelled a bit to come here. Yeah. There's like 3 or 4 locations where protests like this are happening today.
I have no idea myself.
Is it 6?
Is it nationwide?
Yeah, there's 6.
Yeah, there's
6. I only
something outside of every BAE works.
Right, I only seen 3 or 4 when I was looking. This one, because I'm originally from Hull. Oh, yeah. I was raised in Hull for quite a while, so I thought I'll come down and see this one, see if I recognise anybody from Hull. just curiosity, innit? Curiosity killed the cat sometimes.
Where are you from? Derbyshire way?
No, from the Midlands.
Midlands,
yeah.
How are your actions affected?
Yeah, well, I lived in the Midlands, lived in Hull, Lived around Lincolnshire for quite a while.
Lincolnshire, there's a bit
So,
of that.
yeah. So I've definitely got a mixed accent.
York March on the 25th of October.
I think I'm not sure, but I can list. I'll see it.
Sorry, but when I said what YouTube channel I was, your face sort of changed. Does that mean you've seen some of my stuff before?
I'm not sure. No, my face won't change. It's
it's just
a bit chilly.
Just when you're being
Oh, okay.
filmed, you know, it's nice to know who's actually filming you.
Well, that's just why I asked. I didn't know if
What you're
you'd
going
seen
to do with
something
it,
before.
And, you know,
I mean, whatever does happen goes on YouTube. It's as simple as that. I've gone to Palestine marches and I've been attacked, and I have still posted it, and I've called them idiots. So some people, when I go to other Palestine marches, they don't like me. They don't like me because of my views, but everyone has a right to an opinion, right?
what is your opinion of?
My opinion. See, now if I talk on the ground right now, I'll probably get more crap than what it's worth.
Basically,
That's
he
me.
supports Israel and Yaxley Lennon.
Yeah, is that right?
Yeah.
Yaxley Lennon?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean Tommy Robinson?
No, I mean Stephen Yaxley Lennon.
Oh, you mean
That's his
Tommy?
name.
Well, he goes by Tommy Robinson.
Well, he might
the
go by
alias.
that. He stole that, didn't he, from a football hooligan? We know that. His name is Stephen Yaxley Lennon. Wife beater, convicted wife beater, beat up the police. Illegally entered Canada and the USA. Has been in prison for mortgage fraud. Yeah, really, really unpleasant character.
You really don't like Tommy, do you? Or Stephen?
Well, I don't particularly like anybody who beats up women and police and commits mortgage fraud and enters countries illegally. Simple, really, isn't it?
You don't support anybody that enters countries illegally?
Nope.
So you don't support the illegal migrants coming into this country currently?
Well, if there was safe route, yeah. Yaxley Lennon had a safe route. He didn't have to steal some or borrow somebody's passport to enter the US. So no, I don't agree with what he did at all.
So you don't agree with the small boat migrants?
That's a different story,
How is that a different story?
because there is no safe routes for them.
They pass through several countries that
It
do
doesn't
offer
matter,
asylum.
there is no safe route.
They've passed through several countries that
Doesn't
do
matter,
offer
there is
asylum.
no safe route.
There's no safe route, but there's countries they've gone through that offer asylum to asylum seekers that seek it, and yet when they get to Calais they pay €5,000 to come across on a small boat.
So let me ask you the question.
Go for it.
Why are they leaving those countries anyway? What did Britain do to the countries that they're leaving? So we look at Afghanistan, we look at Iraq, we look at Palestine and Gaza, India,
Syria.
Pakistan, Syria, the Lebanon. The Britons have always been complicit. South Africa, Tanzania, Cuba, America, Zimbabwe, under Mugabe. Look at what he, what's his name in Zimbabwe? Cecil Rhodes. Look what he did. He stole their land, he stole their resources, and he built his mausoleum on a piece of land that belonged to the people of Zimbabwe, that was supposed to be sacred, and no man was meant to walk on it. And Cecil Rhodes stole it, put his mausoleum on it, and after he'd broken their sanctuary, he bequeathed it back to the people of Zimbabwe. So no, I don't agree with what Britain's done, and then we'll come on to the Irish occupation, shall we? The longest occupation in the world, the famine, where the British starved the Irish to death, stole their land, are still occupying 6 counties illegally and will not get off. So no, Britain deserves everything they get.
Britain deserves everything they get.
Yeah,
Okay. So how are they affording the €5,000?
It's
For
up
the-
to them, isn't it? It's not up to you and I to decide how people afford to do anything. How can you afford to stand out here on a Wednesday when you're not retired?
Because I make money from doing this.
You make money from a YouTube channel, fabulous. That's contributing to society, isn't it?
Yes, because I pay my taxes.
I bet you do.
I also own a business that I pay tax on.
Yeah, I bet you do.
I do. Why do you disagree with me?
I don't disagree. I have just no evidence.
Exactly.
Same as you have no evidence that people pay £5,000 to cross.
Oh, there is
the channel in a
evidence.
small
There's.
You show me the receipts.
There obviously ain't going to
Show
be
me the
receipts from
receipts.
people smuggling, is there?
Exactly.
There's not going to be receipts for people smuggling.
Exactly.
It's been caught on camera by
Oh,
different
it's been
variations
caught on
of people,
camera, like Farage.
not just Farage. You mentioned a news place earlier, GB News. I think they done it.
Really?
YouTube.
News.
Hang on.
Farage
Hang on. YouTubers have been there, seen it, witnessed it.
What, the
Interviewed
transfer of
people.
the money? They've witnessed the transfer of the money and filmed it, have they?
Come on.
Exactly.
Come on.
Exactly. And
Exactly.
exactly where is the safe route? Even
So
from
why would
Afghanistan?
somebody admit to paying €5,000 to cross on a small boat and get people smuggled, which is breaking the law not only in France but in the UK as well? Why would they admit to that on camera without it actually happening? Why would they admit to a crime they haven't committed if they haven't committed it?
Perhaps because they were intimidated by the person holding the camera. Ever thought
Would you
of
say
that
I'm
one?
intimidating?
I would.
Why am I intimidating?
Because basically you've come out here to film us and cause trouble, post it on your YouTube channel and cause division and hatred. That about sums it up, really.
I don't think I'm causing division and hatred.
Oh, I think
I'm having
you
a
are, I
conversation.
think. No, you're not. You're trying to peddle your filth and your lies and your discrimination.
My filth, my
And-
lies and my discrimination.
You know, really, you've no right to be here filming people without their consent.
Oh,
If you're not actually
oh.
displaying who you are, where you're from, why you're doing it. I don't mind being filmed.
I've literally openly said I'm from a YouTube channel. I've given you my YouTube channel.
And we've said we don't want to be filmed.
Unfortunately, that's not the law in the UK. This is how I earn my bread and my butter. So
Pay your taxes on it.
yes, I do. Automatically comes out actually from Google Island. Funnily enough,
Oh, I support Google too.
Google Island pay my wages. I pay tax. They take it out. They pay the government.
Google pay the government. They've never dodged taxes in their life.
Well, that's up to them. I pay it. It's on all my documents that I need to, that I get emailed every month.
And then you're being conned, I would suggest.
Well, maybe I am. Maybe I am. But as long as I've got the receipts to prove that I'm contributing, or at least attempting to contribute, if a third party takes that money and keeps it for themselves, then that's between them and the government. Don't you agree?
Well, not if you're complicit, no.
Well, as far as I've got the evidence, the tax comes straight out.
Yes, but you
So
know
then-
they're not paying it, so that makes you
If Google are not
complicit.
paying it, then that's between Google and the government.
You can't educate people, can you?
I can't educate you though, can we?
Well, I don't need education.
You've just said, you've literally turned round to me today.
Class degree. What have
You've
got?
turned round to me today and says you don't want to be filmed. Well, unfortunately, that's the UK law. We can film anything we want in a public place, including even if you was to be in that office block right there, and I was to walk up to that gate and zoom right in on my phone, I can film anybody in that office block because I'm on public land. Anything you can see, okay? So that is the law surrounding filming and filming people in public. You do not need anybody's permission. The beautiful thing about YouTube is you don't need anybody's permission to post it onto YouTube either.
No, and I'm sure my small tirade will be on YouTube, and you'll get your shilling. Sad world. Isn't
I
it?
love my shillings, yeah.
I bet you do.
I do. It feeds my kids. My kids are very happy with my YouTube money.
And the universal credit top-up.
The universal. What makes you think? What makes you think I'm on universal credit? What makes you think I'm on universal credit?
I wasn't. I was just. You know.
You was
nothing
making
wrong.
an assumption based on the hatred that you have in your heart towards me.
I
That
don't
somebody
hate you.
that has a
hate
different
you.
opinion.
No, I don't hate you. You're totally wrong there. You're absolutely meaningless to me. I couldn't even begin to hate.
It sounds really hatred when you're coming towards me saying the universal credit top up,
I wasn't coming towards you. I just stood here with my flag.
and said the universal credits are aimed at me, meaning I'm going to get a universal credit top up. from my YouTube money, which I don't need because I also own a business. So why would Universal Credit pay me anyway, when not only do I own my own business, I also have YouTube money as an income? So there would be no grounds for YouTube to pay for Universal Credit to pay me, would there? I mean,
I've no idea.
what's the criteria these days?
I've no idea. I'm retired.
Well, good for you. You spend your retirement holding a flag for Palestine with meanings behind it that I could unfold beyond belief.
I've been to
and I'd love
Palestine,
it.
have you?
Would I need to go? Would I need to go?
Well, I volunteered.
If you've been to
it helps,
Palestine,
I think it helps.
Change my life.
if you've been to
Multiple
Palestine, then
occasions.
why ain't you walking around Palestine with this flag now?
Well, because
Why are you
I'm
here
in
instead of-
England, walking around.
But you don't
with
like
this-
England. You've already said.
No, of course
You've
we
already
like
said.
England.
I
We
never
love
said
England.
that. I said the English deserve what they get.
The English deserve. But do you not class yourself as English?
No.
Of course.
Then
I-
what do you
I'm
class yourself
English.
as?
No.
Of course I'm English.
Well, it's nothing to do with you what I
Yes.
class myself as.
One of the chants that many Palestinians use is "We are all Palestinians." So if you're Palestinian, why are you not in
I'm
Palestine?
not Palestinian.
It's one of the many chants that I've heard.
Yes,
So-
it's-
Maybe not one that we join in with.
well,
Okay,
yes,
fair
but
enough.
It's the meaning. It's not.
I'll take you at face value.
It's
It's
not
saying-
the
saying we're
actuality. It's the meaning
The
behind
meaning
it.
is that we stand with them.
Yeah, the meaning that we
We're on
stand
their
with
side.
them.
So do you also stand with the thousands of Palestinian people that gathered in the street with the big screen in front of them celebrating the death to a family, a very young family of Israelis?
I'm a
Do you-
pacifist. I don't
so-
believe in war of any description.
I don't
So you don't-
celebrate anybody's death.
No, I don't celebrate anybody's death. No, I don't
want it all
either.
to stop.
I do
Basically.
too.
So we need Hamas to stop, don't we?
Oh, but Hamas, we need the IOF to stop as well, don't we?
But you see, you can't agree. Why can't you not agree to Hamas being stopped?
Why can't you
when
agree
when
to
you
the
just
IOF
come up with a?
being stopped?
I've literally just turned around. So we need Hamas to stop, correct? As in a joint.
As in,
We need them.
We need the terrorist
See, here's the
organisation
thing.
We need
over
them
there
to
to
stop
Here's
stop.
the
violence.
thing, the ANC, the African National Congress, were also classed as a terrorist organisation. So terrorist or freedom fighter, all depends which side of the fence you're on.
As were Benachem
As were
Begin,
Menachem Begin, absolutely.
the
So that-
Israeli settlers.
Yeah, yeah.
So now you're saying that Hamas are freedom fighters?
No, I didn't. I didn't say
Or
that.
you're trying
No.
to trying
No,
to?
I didn't. I said
Okay.
freedom fighter or terrorist depends which side of the fence you're on. I'm sure they think of the Israelis as terrorists just as much.
I'm
as
sure I've seen enough from
Israel.
Hamas to know that they're a terrorist
Oh,
organisation.
really? And who started Hamas?
You tell me. You seem to know everything.
I don't know everything by any stretch of the imagination.
So you don't know who started Hamas?
It started with Israel. Of course it did. Israel funded Hamas.
Israel
because-
funded Hamas to kill all of
No,
the Israelis.
no, Israel did not fund Hamas for that. They funded Hamas to try and alter the political balance
To run Gaza.
and run Gaza. Yeah.
Okay. So two years ago yesterday, what happened?
Oh well, now here we go. 2 years ago
We don't know what's
yesterday.
happened, really.
And we don't know what's happened, but
Exactly.
we do know the Hannibal Directive was used. And do you know what happened on the 6th of October and the 5th of October and the 4th of October and the 3rd of October, going back to 1947? Do you know
Come
how
on, you
many
tell
people
me.
in Gaza have been killed? Do you know how many Palestinians have been murdered? Do you know how many hundreds and hundreds of Palestinians are currently being illegally held in Israeli prisons with no thousands with no charges brought against them? They are just held there because the Israelis wanted their land and their resources. Do you know how many Palestinians have been murdered by the Israelis for absolutely no reason whatsoever? I once saw an Israeli kill a man for crossing the road. So please don't tell me about Israel.
You've seen that with your own eyes, did you?
I did,
When you was over in Palestine,
yeah. On the West Bank,
on the West Bank.
yeah.
You seen that? So what was the situation there?
Nothing, the man was just crossing the road. I was in Jerusalem and I attended Sukkot, which at the wall, the Wailing Wall, and it's a celebration, a Jewish celebration, and I've never seen anything like it in my life. They were jumping up and down with their Torahs and they were singing and chanting, and it was like a religious fervour I'd never seen in my life before. And at the end of this event in the evening, they were all going home. Now Jerusalem normally closes at 7 o'clock at night, but this was about 9 o'clock when everybody started leaving the Wailing Wall, and they walked through the Muslim quarter, and this shopkeeper was doing nothing, absolutely nothing, and they pulled him out of his shop, and the police, the Israeli police, stood in a circle round these so-called religious Zionists as they beat this shopkeeper to a pulp, and there was nothing we could do but stand by and watch. And all that man had been doing was standing in his shops trying to make a living. I was in the olive groves picking olives with a little boy out at Kafr Kadum, and months later I got a phone call, a message, an email. I got a phone call, a message, an email from somebody to say, and I'd had a lovely time with this family picking olives and this little boy, and I got a message to say that the little boy had been shot in the head by an illegal exploding bullet by an Israeli soldier. He was 9 years old. He wasn't Hamas, he wasn't a terrorist, he was somebody's child that I'd spent a wonderful day with. So please do not tell me that Israel is innocent. We'll go back to 1947 and the mandate that gave the Balfour Agreement, and the over 70,000 people that were evicted from their homes and made to march across the land and put into what is laughingly called refugee camps that are concrete blocks. Men, women and children put in those concrete blocks for life. They're not allowed to leave. Unemployment is over 70%. They have to carry a different coloured card to the rest of Palestinians. This is an Israeli mandate. Please do not tell me it's not an apartheid state. Do you know how many people were butchered to form Israel? How many people were murdered to form Israel? And you're laughing, you think it's funny. So life to you is only precious if you're white. You think it's funny. So life to you is only precious if you're white. We've got
wow, that's don't push it, don't push it, because I've got 2 black children. Don't push it, and don't even bother trying to call me racist. I'm smiling because I asked the question and you've gone on your own little rant, right? I'm smiling because what I said in the beginning was not what you was coming to towards the end. You went on a whole different rant, nothing to do with the question I asked. Do you remember the question I asked?
Me, had I seen the man being shot? And I told you yes, and then I went on to give you examples of other people I have known.
Yes, you went into a tangent.
No, I didn't go off on a tangent at all. People I've known that have been murdered. Bilal.
But so you think Palestine's innocent in everything? Yeah.
No. But we never said Palestine.
You was about to say yes then until you looked at him.
No.
There we go.
No, I wasn't.
So
She wasn't.
I wasn't. But what I'm saying is,
But neither of the Zionists. The Zionists have committed terrible
or the
crimes
British or
for
the
the last
US.
70 odd years.
So
If
you want to make a difference, then I suggest you go over there and make a difference yourself.
But I have been.
Yes.
I do go and make a difference. I support.
Then what
people
is this
that
going to do?
volunteer. This is standing here saying I stand with Palestine against what is happening in there.
Do you think that's going to make a difference to a multi-million-pound company? Or to the government? Did they listen?
I don't know.
Probably not.
No. But at least
I'd say being over there doing something physically over there would actually help more than just standing here with a flag.
So.
Do you not agree?
Yeah, I would, but now is not the right time for me to go and do what I do when I go to the West Bank and volunteer. So physically, no. When it's the right time and I can go and harvest the olives, then I go. When it's not the right time, I don't go. I go to other places and volunteer as well. I don't just go to Palestine.
So what about this country? Have you ever thought about fighting for the country you're actually living in?
So let me tell you this. On a Friday...
For this country to be better than what it currently is, I mean. So not saying I agree with anything the government are doing. I'm not saying I agree with certain other things. What I am saying is, would you not fight for this country to be better than what it is today?
In what way?
In any way.
So on a Friday, I pack food for a food bank.
Yep.
I am in the Unite community, the non-working side of Unite the Union, and we are constantly trying to do things that to make this better. We're part of a group called Logic over in Grimsby that are supporting people with damp homes, with problems on their paving, all sorts of different things. So yes, I am in groups that do a lot.
So you're actually based in Grimsby?
No, I'm not based in
Well,
Grimsby.
you've got a workplace in Grimsby then?
No, I haven't got a workplace.
or
I've just told you we're part of Unite the Union, the community side, the non-working side.
Yeah,
And
one of them is based in Grimsby.
No, our branch stretches across the Humber. So we are one branch with different people in different parts of the Humber.
I was
Scunthorpe to Grimsby to all over Holderness.
I was going to talk about some information in Grimsby. That was all. But I guess because you're not mainly based there, you won't know too much about what I'm talking about. So I'm not going.
Well, I do actually. I've been over to East Marsh and I've done the damp walks with it and helping write the reports.
The problem is everyone. Sorry to interrupt, but everyone keeps on mentioning East Marsh when it comes to Grimsby. Grimsby is much more of a bigger place than East Marsh.
Absolutely.
One of the most hated areas in Grimsby and Cleethorpes. If you know the area properly, you should understand where I'm coming from with this. East Marsh gets targeted with everything. East Marsh, East Marsh, East Marsh, East Marsh. Grimsby is so much more of a bigger place, and there's so much more happening in Grimsby and Cleethorpes than anyone seems to ever know. It was around 2012 when a police interceptors program, you know, one of them programs that went out about East Marsh, which is why it's got so much hate and why everyone targets East Marsh. We're helping in East Marsh, we're helping in East Marsh. I have not seen a change in East Marsh since then to now.
Well, that's what I've just talked about pavements. That's not about East Marsh, that's about all over. I just said about the damp walks in East Marsh. We've also been trying to support the people at Law, the Lindsay Oil Refinery. Yes,
oh yeah, I've heard about that
all
one.
sorts of things. So please don't tell me I'm not trying to do anything.
I know, but it's always East Marsh that gets a little target.
We were doing damp walks in East Marsh. I didn't say solely East Marsh.
Oh, okay. Then couldn't you just say Grimsby?
No,
That'd
because
be more
the
fair.
area we're doing the report on for the damp is East Marsh, because there's problems with damp because of the way the houses were built.
It's a good tagline for anything you put on social media. East Marsh.
But it's not a good tagline, and it's not gone on social media.
Do you put things on social media?
No.
I'm just saying, in all respect, you talk about it, and everyone knows East Marsh is an area.
This report that we've put together is about damp housing in East Marsh because of how the houses in East Marsh.
I can give you one area that's much worse.
It's not about that. It's about the concentration of houses with the damp.
Yeah, I can give you an area that's much worse.
The report is not just about East Marsh. The report is about damp housing in Grimsby. It's just we did the damp walks in East Marsh. The report is covering everywhere, and the aim is to try and get the law changed around damp for all people, not just the people of East Marsh. But you can't cover the whole of Grimsby to write a report on damp. So we chose an area where the church was particularly active, and we used that as a base. Is that okay with you? Thank you.
No, because it's one area. Other areas suffer differently. So you could do one street in.
What I've been hearing is you saying, why don't you go over to Palestine?
Yeah.
She has.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you could do more than standing here right
you
now.
were saying, why don't you do more local politics here? And she has. She does every day.
Right.
And then you say,
no.
why don't you go to Grimsby? And she says she has. I mean.
Yeah, one area.
You know,
No, not one area.
yeah, come on.
We didn't look at the
Yes, you did.
pavements.
That's what you said. You
No,
said
we
East
didn't.
Marsh.
We didn't look
You
at
said
the
East
pavements
Marsh.
in East Marsh.
You said East
We
Marsh. Everybody says East Marsh because it's an easy target.
Such hard work.
Just like everything else.
She's not targeting East Marsh. It's just happened to that's an area where she wrote a report about.
I've not
And
about
isn't it
damp
funny?
housing.
Isn't it funny
Damp
also
housing
when you came
applies
across and said
everywhere.
that? Okay.
You said you can.
Well, I'm done with the
mention another
conversation if it's
area,
just going to be argumentative.
because there's loads of areas have got.
When
damp
you came
housing.
across and said that, isn't it funny how I can ask any question and she's done it? It's weird that, isn't it? Very strange.
She's about the most active person that
Very
I know.
strange. Very strange. Have you jumped off a cliff for charity?
No.
You've probably done it.
No, I haven't.
Do you know what I mean?
You're questioning her.
That's because I said a cliff.
What do you do to help the community?
What do I do
What do
to
you
help?
do?
Oh well, if I start giving out my private information, then I might have Wally's turn up and thingy.
Makes
But I do a
YouTube
lot.
videos.
Yeah, I do. That's all I do.
And he contributes his tax to Google.
Yep, I do.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that Google pay me a lot of money. And I'm not sorry for that. So is Facebook. Facebook pays me a lot of money as well.
Oh, I wouldn't know. I'm not on Facebook.
Not
I
me.
think that's a bit of a thing of the past. And
Oh,
plus,
no,
why
they pay
would
me
you
a lot of
want
money.
to contribute anything to Zuckerberg?
It's not my choice.
I
I
was
earn
on
a
it-
lot of
I
money
came
from
off
him.
it
What's it your choice?
When I learnt about suicide,
Yeah,
children committing suicide because of material they'd had from social media,
yeah.
especially some
And there's
So where was this
the
event
slimming
posted?
Stuff as well. You know, the people with
Oh, yeah.
anorexia because they're
Where was
made
this?
to feel.
Where was this event posted?
Molly
Facebook.
suicide is quite well known.
Where is it? Where is it? You get a lot of people join and come through on. And where do you post
Well,
all
not
this?
anymore.
It's
I think
Facebook.
Facebook's a thing of the past, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think there's much better things than Facebook.
I see it all the time on Facebook.
Well, that's
most
because you're
events.
on Facebook. I don't. I'm not on it.
No, but all these events are all over
I like
Facebook.
Blue Sky.
So understand,
TikTok,
you've got to kind of understand that
Instagram.
you can use it for your benefits,
Well, I did.
or the group can use it for their benefits, and I can use it for my benefits. They get the message out there by using Facebook, and I post to Facebook and earn money from it. So
So how are you today?
I'm fine.
Nice to see you.
Oh dear.
So every
know,
time I've asked the
it's
question,
sad, isn't it?
it's never been answered.
I thought it was quite comprehensive.
I thought it was standing here supporting a terrorist organisation. It is terrorist
So you're
organisation.
saying so Palestine is a terrorist.
Terrorist organisation.
Against the terrorist organisation, the IDF is the biggest terrorist organisation.
Hang on, what's the prescribed terrorist organisation in this country? Palestine Action. Thank you.
Why did I say Palestine Action?
Bloke stood right behind you.
He didn't say it was.
He's got half and half right there.
Palestine
I've just said that. I've explained that sign to
The
him.
non-proscription doesn't mean you support anything, does it?
Still Palestine Action though, innit? I said it's a 50-50 chance he'll get arrested for terrorist crimes today.
Palestine Action.
And we
doesn't
agreed on that,
exist.
didn't we?
Not according
It's a
to the
50-50.
Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has
I don't care, you're all a bunch of terrorists to me, I don't care.
has ruled that it's perfectly legal to campaign against the prescription of Palestine. It has ruled it is perfectly legal. It's there in black and white.
As far as I'm concerned, terrorists.
Yes, we know as far as you're
And the
concerned.
kafir supporting Hamas, terrorists.
I haven't got the fear on.
I never said you, I pointed at these three.
And the country
And
that
he's the one
has
shouting at
bombed
me.
Syria, Lebanon,
Do
Yemen,
I support him?
Qatar,
Do I support him?
killed north of 70,000.
I only support this country right here. This country to be a better one than it is today. I want this country to be a better country than it is today.
So what do you do to make this a better country?
Oh, trust me, I do a lot of things.
What do you do? Tell me.
I post videos. I post videos. Yeah, I post videos. That's all I do. That's all I do. Everything I say to you is
how
now
is
going to
that?
be contradicted
So how is
because
that?
of the way you was giggling like a little schoolgirl.
Can you tell me?
So
how
I'm not going to.
Can you please
What?
tell me how your videos make this country better?
No, you tried asking me a question. She jumped in and said I make videos for online. So that I'm going to stick with that answer. I'm going to stick with that answer because we can never have a genuine conversation. I'm trying to understand more as I go
I'm
along.
trying to have a genuine conversation. And so are we, but you know. You
No,
are,
because I get laughed
you
at
are-
like I'm.
Well, some of your answers have been a bit ridiculous, to be quite honest.
Why is it?
When we first talked,
Palestine Action Group.
Came across as,
you
came across. You wanted to put it across that you're neutral, but actually you're very partisan.
No, I did make a mistake by when I first said I'm an independent journalist. I did correct myself, if you remember correctly. I said no. I take that back. I'm a citizen journalist because I do have my own opinions. I did correct myself on that. I made the mistake of saying I was an independent. I am not independent. I am a citizen journalist. I do have my own opinions.
To stand in front of us and tantamount say that we're terrorists is just a little bit
a bit
provocative.
ridiculous, actually, as well.
Was the Do you know what? I don't even want to go into it because it's so stupid. It was a terrorist. It's a terrorist organisation. As far as I'm concerned, Hamas is a terrorist organisation. Palestine Action is a terrorist organisation.
You would hate the.
Keir Starmer might recognise Palestine as a state. I fucking don't.
You would hate.
So I've got no hate in my heart.
The Israelis, if you had your country stolen.
I've got no hate in my heart. I've got an opinion. I'm going to stick with that opinion.
Can I just ask, just a thought? My father-in-law fought the Battle of Britain to defend this country. Now, if the Battle of Britain had failed and Germany had invaded and Germany was occupied England in 1940, would English people have been justified in fighting?
Back then, of course. But
Can you just not see that it's exactly the same situation in Palestine?
But you cannot stand there.
Hang on.
You cannot stand. Before you talk for 10 minutes. Before you talk for 10 minutes, let me answer the first bit you've just said. Let me just answer the first bit you've just said. The first bit you've just said. Okay. So you're talking about Germany coming and invading this country.
Was it possible in
Okay.
1940?
So 2 years ago, yesterday, what happened?
Well, an imprisoned people broke out of their prison
Hamas broke through
and they attacked
and
Israeli
killed several.
military installations. They were also,
Their attack was
they
to
were-
kill as many Israelis as possible.
which I do not agree with. But I do agree with the right of Palestinians to resist occupation in the same way as you would have if you'd lived in 1940s and Germany had invaded. You would have been justified in, you'd have been justified.
I'm having a conversation, not a reaction.
This is my neighbourhood, I live down here.
Sorry?
This is my neighbourhood, I live down here. There is no planes being made here.
No, they.
And do you realise the
test
hostages,
F-35s here.
after 2 years, are still captive with the terrorists? Do you realise that?
And do you realise that there are actually thousands
I watch it all the
of
time.
Palestinians who've been imprisoned for no reason and tortured?
They're part of the regime of the Hamas.
You know, I don't agree
It'll
with
never
Hamas.
change.
I don't agree with Hamas.
Hamas are sat in tunnels underneath while the Palestinian people are on top.
Why
How
are
is
the Hamas saving
how are
the
they supposed to
people?
fight Hamas?
Are you?
Get through the people that are blocking their way.
Yeah.
A blockade of Palestinian people.
They never
And you
look
don't
after
seem to
their own
understand.
people. They never look after their own people.
They're
Do you not
sat in
understand
tunnels
that?
underneath. They're sat in tunnels. You know how many tunnels they are. They're sat in tunnels.
Israelis have
And
never looked
yeah,
after their
there we go.
You're not going to
The
be influenced.
Israelis
You're not going to be influenced by what we
As
say.
an occupying,
Is it? Is it?
Do you want
in international law, an occupying force has
Why aren't you all
responsibility.
over to Gaza then? Why don't you go take yourselves to Gaza and make a
We've been through
difference?
that already.
Why
Yeah,
don't you make a difference?
I've asked them that, love,
bombers
and they've
here.
turned around and have said they do go to Gaza when it's olive picking time.
Oh, that's good then, isn't it? So you enjoy yourselves. What about the dying children? What about the tunnels and the killings?
20,000 Palestinian children
What about the
have been
Hamas?
killed.
What about the hostages?
Yeah, what about them?
What about them?
I do not agree with hostages being taken. All right?
So what's this
I
about
don't-
then? So if you're
This is
so
about the
divided, why are
this-
you doing this?
This is about the repression of
Could I ask you a
Palestinian people
question?
over 8
Yeah.
times.
Could I?
Yeah.
Because there are two former Israeli prime ministers.
Yes.
When directly asked the question, what would you do if you were Palestinian?
What
they
would you
they,
do
they
as the Prime Minister?
said that if they were Palestinians, they would be fighting. I would ask you the same question. What would you do if you were Palestinians? Would you be resisting when 30,000 people
Did
were moved
Israel-
overnight
did
out of one city in
Israel
1948?
1948, move forward. Move
If I was
right
Palestinian, I
forward.
wouldn't be covering up for a terrorist organisation on the
You
ground.
can't move forward when someone's on your land, destroying that land. That it's not so much the
You don't have to
the
shout.
land.
I'm not
sorry,
deaf.
like I'm being
I
passionate.
am not
and that's
deaf.
like you can
I can hear you from my house.
You can. I've
That's
got a
why I'm
loud,
here.
I've got a loud voice and I'm passionate. Right. It's not so much.
Do you not see from both sides? Do you
It's
not
not-
see two wrongs don't make a right? Do you not?
I don't see it in terms of.
over if you've been interrupted all the time.
No, and if you
It's
keep
all right.
shouting, I will not listen.
Can I say, right, it's not so much that land belongs to Palestinian people, it's that the Palestinian people belong to the land. They have a history that they're going back thousands of years. How would you feel? You're talking about being a patriot, my friend.
Okay.
You're talking about being a patriot. What would you do if another country, pull Russia out of the hat or whatever, or America, came over here and drove most of the population out of their homeland, changed the names of all the cities,
It's happening.
changed Hull to
It's happening now.
Hull or whatever, and that's exactly what happened to the Palestinian people. And as someone who loves your country, surely you would resist. And when they asked two Israeli prime ministers exactly that question, they said, yes, if I was Palestinian, I would resist. I get it, I understand. That's where it's come from.
Let me ask you.
This country is fighting. This country is fighting
We
for
are
its
fighting for its
freedom.
freedoms. Do you not watch the news? Do you see
But
there's an
I'm
uprising?
saying,
There is an
like,
uprising
go back
here.
to what I was asking you. If you were Palestinian,
We're not
yeah,
Palestinians, and neither
but
are
I
you.
would
if
not
you were-
stand.
would you do-
not stand alongside a terrorist organisation. No, I would not.
No,
I would
definitely not.
leave. I would flee.
Right, you would let Israel win.
I would leave. I would flee
You
rather than
would-
standing
you would
beside a
allow your
terrorist
land to-
organisation.
You would allow your land to be
I would
taken, walked over. The olive trees that have been there for generations
Olive
and
trees?
generations, ploughed up to build fucking apartments. Yeah, that's what's happened to those
I
people.
would not stand side by side with a
So tell
terrorist
me.
organisation that
Excuse
kills women
me.
and children.
If
If
you-
that's what you're
if you
stood here
took up-
saying,
if
you're
you
stood here
took up
saying
if-
that Israel kills women and children, but you're standing on the same side as Hamas, who also kill women and children.
Yep.
Two wrongs do not make
Right.
a right, so you cannot explain yourself.
resistance
You
isn't
cannot
just-
say that.
The
You
resistance,
can't.
for a start, the resistance isn't just Hamas. Yeah, the resistance, like on
It's the
October the
West
7th,
Hamas
there were
controls
9 different-
Palestine.
no-
What about
9
Iran
different-
joining in and
nine-
Syria
nine
joining in?
nine different resistance
Israel's got it from
organisations.
everywhere. Israel is surrounded and being bombed all the time. Do you not see that?
Why?
Why are the rest of them joining in?
That is your
Like, but
been bombed all the time.
Yes, Hamas
Yeah.
tanks, are they? Hamas aeroplanes? I haven't seen
Hamas has never carried out
I think you
an
lot see
operation.
anything. I don't
Hamas
think
has
you
never
see
carried out an
They
operation.
won't see anything.
beyond
They
the
won't see
boundary.
anything past what they get to believe to see. And when they do travel over to these countries, they are showed a certain type of this country.
No, they're picking
That is it.
olives.
They're
They're
picking
picking
olives.
olives.
They're picking olives in a field and getting told what is happening.
No, they're not. We all know that. We all know
Why
that
don't
that's
you
not
go
just
and
what's
rescue
happening.
them? Why don't you rescue them? Wouldn't that be better?
This is our part of doing precisely that.
It's nonsense.
Like
This is not going to stop a multi-million-pound company
rescue
building a bit of metal.
to rescue. If you were going to rescue people, first of all, they've got to be bloody alive. What we want is to stop them
There
being
is-
slaughtered on an industrial scale.
There's millions
and that's
still
what's
alive.
taking place.
Why don't you go and rescue some? Don't you think?
Millions still alive.
Yeah.
What about the
Morally
hundreds of
speaking,
thousands?
should you not get in a van and rescue them? Even one.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. If I had the wherewithal and the means to do it, I would fight alongside Palestinians.
You do. Go over there and fight.
Absolutely.
Go over there, live like they do, and fight like they do. You have
I'm
the
not in
means
a
and
position
opportunity.
to do that.
Why not?
I'm not in a position to do
You're a
that.
human. You're breathing, and you're stood on two legs.
No, I'm
you're not in a
simply
wheelchair.
Not in a position to do that.
So, there we
that's-
go.
That's
There we
absurd.
go.
Okay.
If humanitarian aid
Why
can't even
have
get
you
in by
not
a
got a
boat,
banner for Ukraine?
If humanitarian
that's a whole other question.
but
humanitarian aid can't get in via a boat, so how do you go there and pick olives?
I'm not talking about. I've never said I'd go there and pick olives.
The lady that was stood there said she went there and picked olives. She's been to Palestine. She picks olives.
in the past, yeah.
They've had a week there. They've had a week there.
You wouldn't get in now. You got no chance. Like it's hard enough for a Palestinian to get from one part of the West Bank to
Okay,
another.
so
They have
let's
to
talk
go
about
through
let's talk about
checkpoint
all the
after
boats that was
checkpoint
going there.
after
Let's talk
checkpoint.
about all the boats that was going there
flotilla.
recent. The flotilla. They got redirected. They got redirected
They got arrested.
because a bunch of silly people was on board and turned around and says, no, we're coming in this way rather than the way you're saying. Yeah.
Second failure.
Like you'll just keep swinging from point to point to point.
No,
to
but it
point.
is the point.
What? No, the point.
You're saying you
is
can't
the
get into
history.
Palestine.
The point
You
is
can.
the
They
history.
directed you the right
The
way.
point is a whole people driven off
point
their
is
land,
now.
imprisoned.
The point is now.
imprisoned. Yeah, but
Now.
where does now
Right now.
come from? Why are you here now? Because you were here yesterday, and because you were here the day before, and because your parents.
I'm out here now because you bloody well woke me up.
Oh, I don't give a shit if he's filming it. Like, we are here because of our history. You talk about being British.
History.
You're British because of your history. Yeah, you're British because of your history. A long and complicated history.
Do you know, if
actually,
I
the
felt that
history in
passionate,
Palestine's quite
if I felt that
simple.
passionate, I'd go and do
There was,
something.
there was a, what do you think I'm doing?
Holding a bloody stained banner.
Yeah, well, it's not all I do, but.
Piece of that. What do you do then? What else can help the people of Gaza?
Go to
Really?
Palestine.
Go to Palestine, go to Syria, go to Iran.
You know what?
You'll get
I
in.
would love nothing more than to drink tea on the beach in Gaza. I would love nothing more. Unfortunately, it's a complete war zone. You know, like you must have seen the aerial photos of the
I see
destruction
it
in
all the
Gaza.
time on the news. I watch it.
Yeah,
continually.
yeah. And how
I can see
does
what
it make
Donald
you
Trump's
feel?
doing.
How does it make you feel?
I want the hostages
In your-
released. They should
Yeah.
have not gone in on October the 7th. Have you seen the
You know,
documentary?
like,
Did you
there
see
was
the
a deal on the
documentary?
table in November of 2023 in which all of the hostages could have been released. There was a deal on the
Hamas
table.
is a
On the table.
terrorist.
Right. Could you tell me a little bit about
Israel
the history
is
of
not
Hamas? Could you tell me where Hamas came
I
from?
don't care where the
When it was founded, right?
Have this.
So someone puts a label on it that says they're a terrorist organisation, and you say, oh yeah, okay, they're a terrorist organisation. Well, I'll tell you for now, like Hamas has never ever carried out a single attack outside of what.
So why October the 7th
historical
then?
Palestine.
You tell me why October the 7th.
Why October the 7th? Because they've been in a prison for bleeding like 20 odd years. Like, because those people were totally imprisoned, subject to a naval blockade, and they went on an operation.
was he
Now,
in
I'm not
prison?
saying there weren't terrible things happened on October the 7th. I
Who's
do
behind
know.
October the 7th? Israel.
Sorry?
Israel behind it.
How
Talk
how
about
is
those not watching the news. If you educated yourself, you find
Wow.
that they
I
were
don't
told
need to educate
they were
myself.
told-
Hamas's aim
they were
was to
told-
kill as many Israeli
You don't have to
people
be
as
so
possible.
insulting.
That wasn't the intention.
That was the intention.
No, the intention
Yes, it
of the
was.
operation was
We're
to get
told
as
to
many
stand
hostages
down
as
for
possible and
hours.
inflict as much damage on the IDF as possible. Like, so close to 300 of those who were killed were actually military. Large numbers of those who were killed as a
picked-
result of the Hannibal Directive. They were
So why did
by
they?
attack helicopters?
Why if they wanted to
Because
wanted to kill more
that's
soldiers?
How much Israel cares about its citizens, because it will kill them. It will kill them.
If,
It will kill them
if
rather
their
than
aim was
see
not
them
to kill as many people of Israel as possible, then why pick a holiday, a Jewish holiday in Israel, to do it when there's going to be less soldiers on there?
What, if that was their
Surely
intention, why
the
didn't
aim would be
why
to kill
didn't-
more
why didn't they
soldiers
kill
rather
all
than
of the-
citizens.
Why didn't they kill all of what you're calling the hostages immediately? Why didn't they just kill all of what they were calling the hostages immediately? If you look at...
Answer my question with a question. Nice.
No, if you look
A
at...
bit like Keir Starmer, isn't it?
If
You don't get no answers.
if you look and watch testimony from people who were, say, for example, in Kibbutz
So
Nir Oz.
you're going on your own conversation now. I'm getting really annoyed with this. I started by saying, why was the aim? What was the aim?
Yeah,
the
and-
aim
and
was to kill as
I'm
many
saying-
Israelis as possible, because they picked a holiday to do it on when there would be less soldiers on the front line and killed more citizens.
Right.
So explain that one to me. Why pick a holiday?
I was responding to exactly that
You
by
wasn't.
saying, if you look at the testimony of what actually happened at Kibbutz Nir Oz and various other people who had direct encounters with the hostage takers. And it wasn't just Hamas, it was Saraya al-Quds as well, it was the Ali Abu Mustafa Brigades, it was the National Resistance Committees. There were nine different groups involved in that operation. 9 different groups involved in that operation. And their intention was to go in, hit the Israeli military and take as many hostages as possible. That was their intention. That was their intention.
If that was their intention, then why was so many Israeli people killed?
Well, a great. So,
Do you know the number on that?
Of those,
Off the top of my head, I don't know the number of Israeli people killed on that day.
Right, the official statistic is 1,200.
1,200. I'm pretty sure it's more.
Out of those, no, it's 1,200.
Okay.
So that's Israel's figures. Out of those, close to 300 were like IDF members on active service, like actual combatants.
So 300 off 1,200 alone.
Yeah.
That's.
Let me go further.
1,100.
Let me go further.
1,100.
Let me go further. And a great many of the others who were killed as a result of what's called the Hannibal Directive, which is the Israeli official policy that rather than seeing hostages taken, they will kill everyone, including the hostages. And you can see that from the Nova Music Festival.
So they killed hostages that they was meant to be saving.
Cars trying to. Yes, they killed. Yes, Israel killed a great many of its own citizens on that day. Now, I am not saying
Israel or Hamas.
I am not saying Israel certainly killed a great number of its own citizens on that day. I am not saying terrible things weren't done by Hamas or any of the resistance factions or by the civilians who came out in the third wave on that day. I'm not saying terrible things didn't happen. But what I will say is, if you keep people in what is effectively the largest prison camp in the world,
that's Palestine.
The Gaza Strip.
That's Palestine right now, because they're in a prison camp because they're hiding Hamas. You've got the Palestinian people on the front trying to live their lives on the dirt, on the muck, on the road, and you've got these lot living it up in tunnels.
They said this. They said that they were saying this about Yahya Sinwar, and he died in combat. They were saying they're all hiding in the tunnels. They're all hiding in the tunnels.
And then the Palestinian people celebrate as the Hamas trucks roll through. They celebrate on a big screen of a family of Israelis that died. Very young family, two very young daughters. And the Palestinian people stood alongside Hamas that day and celebrated them people. Death to more Israelis.
I'm not.
You're now wearing the keffiyeh, which they was wearing that day, to celebrate Hamas.
Strangely enough, I'm not, because this isn't a red one. They were wearing a Jordanian keffiyeh that day, which is red. But there you go.
It's still a keffiyeh.
It's a minor point.
You're wearing a keffiyeh.
The keffiyeh is a symbol of solidarity with the Palestinian people. It doesn't mean that I support any individual resistance faction, but I will say that I absolutely support the resistance. I support.
So you support a terrorist organisation in Palestine?
I support the resistance. Just as I supported the resistance against the Americans in Vietnam, just as I support resistance against apartheid in South Africa, just as I would support a British resistance movement.
There is a British resistance movement. This is what this is what you do not understand. There is a British.
Oh, what is it?
What is it? Our shores are being invaded.
Yeah.
Right, here we go.
What?
Here we
What?
go. By who?
By illegals. Not legals, illegals. By taking one step, they've broken the law. Should they not be arrested?
Oh my
If you punch me in the face right now, I expect that officer to arrest you. Yeah?
Oh my
Because you've broken the law. Okay? Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
Right.
These people are getting given hotels and being told, going like that to people.
The reason I'm
allowed?
laughing is that I've now got to the nub of where you're coming from. And you're tying this in. You're tying this
leftists will not listen.
You're tying this in with what you call illegals in this country.
No, we're not tying it in. It's not tying it in.
Do you really think?
You asked about British.
Do you really think that the tiny proportion of people migrating into this country is more of a problem than the bloody billionaires who are raking off?
Have you seen the numbers? Tiny proportion. Have you seen the numbers? Every major hotel in every major city or town has been full.
Did you
of
ever?
them.
Oh no!
And then they're getting integrated into little towns and cities. Yes, it is.
Right, I don't think any of those people should be in the hotel.
Sorry, darling. Sorry, darling.
I think that while they're here, they should be given the right to work.
I think the our homeless British, you are British, yeah? Should be in the hotels. You what? You are British?
I am British.
You patriotic? don't own this? Do you know how many homeless died?
I'm patriotic in as much as I love this country.
Would you
I'm
fly-
really ashamed of this country at the moment.
Would you fly the English flag in Operation Raise the Colours?
Absolutely not.
Why?
Because Operation Raise the Colours is it's a movement that is designed specifically to make people feel uncomfortable, to make people like, and to build a movement. Like at the start, like I'm not everyone in Operation Raise the Colours is a racist, or you know, that's simply not true. And I don't go around, you know, shouting flag shaggers at people or anything like that. But the whole like the overall effect of the thing is to make people uncomfortable. It's basically an anti-immigration thing.
No, it's a passion.
And
It's a passion how the English people feel.
up in a really beautiful city called Leicester. And if you go to Leicester on a Saturday morning,
Leicester New Parks. I was born in Leicester Royal Infirmary. Go on, tell me something about.
Were you really?
Tell me something about Leicester.
Pleased to meet you.
I will not shake your hand at this point until
Why not?
you spoke about Leicester.
Well, what
we'll
about
see.
Leicester?
We'll see what you got to say.
Well, Leicester, you go across, well, you know Vicky Park, for example.
Yes.
Yeah, you go across Vicky Park on a Saturday morning and everyone's just finished the park run, yeah, and then everyone's coming out to play football, and there are people of all different sorts of shades and colours there, all sorts of religions, and they're all going out on the Saturday morning and they're getting on with life and they're having a really good time, and it's a really beautiful thing. I used to live right bang in the middle of Highfields, down by Five Ways at the bottom of Melbourne Road. Yeah,
I know that area pretty well. High drug dealing area.
We're within 100 yards of me.
Lots of stabbings in Highfields. Highfields is one of the worst areas in Leicester.
That's what people used to say to me before I moved there. And I'll tell you what, my area was a mix of, there was a Sikh temple, there was a Hindu temple. There
was you involved in drugs?
There was a Christian church. No.
Did you ever partake in taking drugs?
I was a raver.
So when you lived in Highfields, did you partake in the buying and taking of drugs whilst you lived there?
Not in Highfields, no.
Not in Highfields. No. That's why you wasn't subject to stabbings. For one. Another reason, did you walk?
You're saying to me that Highfields is a safe area unless you're involved in drugs and so on?
No. I'm gonna go on to continue. I'm gonna continue.
Go on.
Okay. So you was a white man in Highfields, right? I know quite a few white people in Highfields. I know quite a few Asian people in Highfields. I know quite a few black people in Highfields myself. But. So you wasn't involved in drugs or the partaking of drugs. That's one reason why you wasn't stabbed, because normally it's down to money, ownership and stuff like that. Another one, was you ever racist?
Was I ever racist?
Was you ever racist?
No.
No. There's another reason. More is, did you ever
hang on,
go
where are you?
listen,
all right, I'll
listen.
wait and see where you're going with this.
Did you ever go around Highfields with a group of friends in the area at all? Did you travel, or did you just travel to town to do your shopping? I mean, what sort of situation was you in work-wise as well?
I was working at an engineering factory called KB Engineering.
Lived in a flat, I'm guessing?
Top floor of terrace.
Top floor of a terrace, yeah. Masonette, yeah. Okay, so you wasn't flush with cash. You wasn't walking around with expensive items or anything like that.
No, but
you was
perfectly comfortable if I was.
You was a simple workman that used to go to work, come back, lay his head to rest. You didn't go out partying.
Oh no, I went out partying. Of course I
did. Did you go? Where did you go partying out of interest in Leicester?
All sorts of. Like I used to go to a lot of the underground illegal raves. I used to go to raves that were on at Starlight. At the
Lamplighters?
No, but the chapel when it was running.
Multicultural place, Lamplighters, downstairs. A lot of black people's music, a lot of African music. I used to go partying in there.
You don't get a lot of trouble with Caribbean African people then?
No, you don't.
You don't? Oh,
They used to host Caribbean Carnival there.
Having said that, in my day, you say that, you see, like, I agree with you. If you weren't involved in the drugs thing, it's safe. But one of the tragedies
what I was saying about your lifestyle there, you went to underground raves, all right? Not many of them would have happened in Highfields. Not many. I'm not saying none. I'm saying not many would have happened in Highfields because of their religion and how they conduct themselves. They won't do it. They won't do it in their area half the time.
Nights at Starlight.
Yeah. They won't do many big nights in that area due to certain religions and stuff. So it's respectful to.
There aren't the venues. You know, we had the blues.
No, it's respectful just to do it out of your area if you're gonna do things like that, drink or anything like that.
There aren't venues.
So to understand it, you was more like going to work, come back, you'd have a few nights out here and there, and you wasn't involved in really much of the community that was going on.
Well, yeah, absolutely, I was.
How was you involved in the community?
Because I had the best neighbours in the world.
The best neighbours.
Constantly, yeah. They were amazing. My street was like very high proportion Muslim. They were absolutely best mate. I'll never forget a time when I locked myself out. I said I lived in a maisonette, like it was upper floors and so on. And we ended up, by the time I got in there, it was like something out of a film. There were about 15 people, like we've been round. So you got a ladder? No, he might have a ladder. Oh, he might have a ladder. And there's about 15 people stood outside while I climbed up the ladder when we finally got one going in, cheering and clapping, and like they're my neighbours. And they're like me.
So your neighbours,
like, Muslim, good.
So your neighbours that could have been involved in anything. For
what decade? What decade? Was this?
What time?
Oh, this is the 2000s.
2000, early 2000s, right? Okay. So to understand that even better, then it wasn't as highly populated as it is now. It got worse. Whilst I was at school,
worse.
It got
worse. If I had more neighbours like that, I'd say it would be getting better, mate. It'd be getting better.
more neighbours like that. Yeah, I agree. But what if there wasn't like that?
But they were like that. And that's the thing, you see. There's this story going on about what, like we're seeing.
You see how I can't actually talk about it. I lived in Leicester. I lived down Highfields.
You've been talking for quite a long time. We're having a conversation.
I'm trying to understand where you was from and what you did there. You basically went to work, came back, and you enjoyed your little bubble that you lived in, and you did not see the crime that would have happened out on the street.
No, I saw the crime. Sadly, at the time.
So the mass stabbings.
There weren't mass stabbings. Sadly, at the time, there was a problem with crime around Red Star Youth Centre. Yeah, and that was drug related and so on. But I'm not going to go into like the racial makeup of who was like.
I'm not getting into the racial side of things. I was saying that statistically, Highfields was one of the worst areas. When I grew up, Highfields was one of the worst areas.
The area.
Looking at the history of it, it got worse. Not it was bad, it's always good.
Like Ayers Monsell, Beaumont Leys, they could be rough as fuck, you know that. You're from Leicester, they could be rough as fuck. To be honest, like I always felt a lot more comfortable in Highfields. And now when I go back to Leicester, it's really nice to be in a town that's so racially mixed and where there's so many people, so many different backgrounds and colours and so on. I love the vibrancy of it. I bloody love it. I wish more of the country was that integrated. I think the problem, if there's a problem with immigration at the moment, the problem isn't with immigration itself. It's with people's unwillingness to just accept other people as our neighbours, because it's going to create division.
So he talks about Leicester alone, right? And now I've got a prime example. You would have seen it on the news.
Well, I've lived in Manchester as well. I've lived in Sheffield.
Yeah, but you would have seen this on the news about Leicester. If you're from Leicester, you automatically, your eyes are drawn to it. So Melton Road, what community is that?
Well, Melton Road's mainly Hindu.
Mainly, no, country. I'm talking country-wise.
Well, it's
Not religion-wise.
no, it's a real mix because there've been different ways of immigration.
Okay.
Because we had the Ugandan Asians was the first wave of immigration into that area in the early 70s, late 60s to early 70s. We had the Ugandan Asians, and then following that, there's Bangladeshis, Bengalis as well.
Okay, I agree with you. There's a high mix there, but I'm saying the main cultural part of that area, right, would be a country. Right, and then another part of another area, it was another country.
Well, I would say
so
India in that case.
India, thank you very much. There we go. Right, Belgrave. Belgrave, the other side of Melton Road. How can I narrow it down? They used to live in Masonettes as well, and it was a specific area just on one side of Belgrave that used to be Somalian. A Somalian area. Had Somalian shops, and they was proud of it. Okay? You with me now, yeah?
Yeah, this
So-
is
so you got-
new to me. This is more recent than
Yes.
when I was living there. But then the Somali immigrations tended to be later.
It was like near St George's Retail Park, just across from there. There's a housing estate with all Masonettes.
Matthews.
St Matthews, that's the one. Mainly Somalian area. Okay?
I don't think any of these areas are like. I'd be surprised if it's mainly Somalian.
It is mainly Somalian, trust me. I lived in just around the corner from that. In fact, I used to have to walk through there to
Carry
go
on,
to
where are you
college.
going with it?
So what part of Leicester is Pakistani? Mainly Pakistani community.
I've got no idea.
You've got no idea.
No, I've got no idea.
Okay, so there's a couple of different places you could say, but
Why are you so interested in the racial breakdown? Where are you going with this?
oh, I'm gonna bring into the fact that you've just turned around and said it's a beautiful city, more culture, more mixed heritage. So I'm getting into that. I'm gonna break it down for you, and I'm gonna absolutely ruin that sentence you've just said to me. Because they've ruined that city that I love so much that I grew up in. Okay? So the Pakistani
You've only
community.
ruined it if you want to take the attitude that, oh, this has ruined my city.
Right then, I'm not
That's
going to
your
I'm
choice,
not going to
mate.
explain
That's
it to you.
your
I'm not going to
choice,
explain
mate.
it to you. Then
You can choose
I'm
to
just
be
going to
friends
simply
with
say
people, or you
I'm
can
going to
choose to
simply
bloody
say
resent them.
I'm going to simply say cricket match. A World Cup cricket match between Pakistan and India. What happened to Melton Road?
Oh my God!
Oh my God! Now the sudden realization, that thousands of people.
There was an overspill. There was an
No,
overspill.
thousands of people
There was an overspill
gathered
of what
to
was going
fight
on in
Melton
Indian-
Road because of a cricket match.
No, it was much more than that. It was to do with what was going on in India at the time, between the BJP, the Hindu nationalists. If I remember right, they actually won the Indian election. But it was an overspill of what had been going on politically, and it was terrible. Yes, it was terrible. It was terrible. There were
No matter
really
where
bad
you
community
go.
tensions. But what's going on now? What's going on now? The community leaders have got together. I'm not going to say those tensions have gone away, because, like, I'll tell you who the BJP are the kind of people who, like, you know, they're the flag wavers. They're the flag wavers in India.
So
They're the
more.
flag wavers. They're the ones who
So
say.
basically, what
you
he's
know,
trying to say is the more culture. It's a beautiful city, and because something's happening politically in another country, they're going to boot off and smash our streets up. Okay, they're going to smash English streets up because of something that's politically happened in India or Pakistan.
Hang on. You just said
And
that they were attacking.
You think that
You've taken
more cultures.
One example.
No.
Of, and
One
it was-
one
it's
example,
two-
one very simple example that you can realise in your brain. that
how many nights did
in-
they go on for? 1, 2, 3 nights or something?
So
against
you
the
were
picture?
talking about Leicester. I've picked Leicester out of the hat. Out of many things that happened countrywide, I've picked Leicester out of the hat. I've given you an example from Leicester. I've given you an example of the multiculturalism in Leicester and how much problems it causes by one example. And you think I haven't got more? You think I haven't got a backpack
Right,
full?
give me more. Tell me more about what's being
Why
going
do
on
I
in
need to?
Leicester
You will
since
not
then.
believe me.
No.
You won't
you're
believe
saying
me. You'll
you've
shut
got
me
more.
down.
No, have I been shutting you down?
You have though. I've just met. How in the world, in this whole country, how many cities, how many towns are there in this country? Tons.
God knows.
Tons.
Yeah.
Unthinkable amount, right? I can't really put a number on it off the top of my head. How in the whole country did I just pick Leicester because you mentioned it, not because I brought it up, because you mentioned it, and I pick out a problem with multiculturalism?
Well,
the thousands of people gathered on Melton Road,
Right.
fighting,
This is one
smashing the place
incident that
up.
happened years ago. Yeah, if you want to find the people, like the people who are most likely to be smashing our cities up, I'm very, very sad to say, young, white, well, not so many young, but young white and young middle-aged men.
No.
Look at what happened in the riots.
You can see that you've been force-fed details.
No, what
You have
happened
been
in the
force-fed
riots?
details.
What happened in the riots? What happened in Hull?
What happened in
It was a 14-year-old that smashed into a Greggs, and he got called far-right activist. It was apparently a far-right activist. How is it? I was a 14-year-old a far-right.
Far-right activist.
But that's what you'd believe.
That's the city that I was born in. You know, I was born in Hull.
And to be fair, there was young white kids and young black kids also joining in that riot, and smashing into Greggs and smashing into O2 and smashing into Lush on the corner.
It kicked off on the basis of a lie about what had happened in that tragic, people preying on the horrific murder of those children, saying it was an immigrant who did it. And
So
it
you're
wasn't
saying
a bloody immigrant
because
who
of
did
a
it.
march,
and we know it wasn't an immigrant who did it.
Because of a march,
he's quite rightly in prison now. You know,
because of a march, that's why it caused that problem, did it? So the march caused the riot.
I think the thing that caused the riot is that people are really, really pissed off because like everything, like the industry in this country has been destroyed because the wealthy bastards at the top, are absolutely milking us, raking it in, while people are on the streets homeless, while people are struggling to, food banks didn't exist 20 years ago.
Then fight for that.
I do as well.
Fight for that.
It's all connected. I think it's all connected.
Don't waste your time fighting for some other country when you live in this country. If you want to fight for that country, go over there, fight for this country that you live in, and be proud of this country that you live in for the future that it could have. Because I'm not saying it's great right now. I'm not saying it's Great Britain right now. I'm saying it can be great.
I'd say, like, in terms of homelessness, what's happening to the NHS, all those other things. Of course, I care about them, and of course, I'm active around them as well. But I don't see this as something separate. It's the same system that's screwing over the people in this country that is responsible for the wars that are taking place, the horror shows that we're seeing and going on all around the world. And meanwhile, we've got people like in this world, like Elon Musk, for example, billions and billions and billions and billions and billions. He could solve homelessness like that overnight with a click of his fingers, a few clicks on his keyboard. No, I'm not saying it's down to one man. I'm saying that that's a degree of inequality and injustice, and I think that's where the real enemy lies. The real enemy lies in the people at the top. The people at the top.
And you think
at the top, and it's always
being separate is going to get us to that stage?
What do you mean being separate?
Being separate.
Being separate. I'm all for us being united.
Unite the kingdom.
If that means unite everyone in the kingdom, like of all races, regardless of how they came to be here. Like,
no, not regardless of how they came to be here.
Well,
you break the law, you should be arrested.
So it's unite the kingdom, except for these
the
bits
people
of the kingdom. This is what you're saying.
Unite
and this is
the
where
British
it falls
people.
down for me.
How many more millions are coming in?
I think there's plenty to go. I think there's plenty to go around. The problem is redistribution.
Plenty. What are you telling me?
Homelessness. And I think with migration,
that brings homelessness.
Homelessness is all.
Okay, so why is there more room for anybody else?
Because the issue is distribution. It's how wealth's distributed. It's how wealth's distributed. Like neither of you look like rich people.
No, we're not.
And
poor.
yeah, like, well, welcome to the club, you know, like. But shouldn't we be saying, well, hang on a sec, we're living in a society, like, what are we going to get most angry about? Like, living in a society where, take the energy companies, pensioners literally freezing to death. It happened last winter.
So fight for this
Pensioners froze to
country.
death. And look at how their profits have just gone skyrocketed over the last 5, 10, 15 years. And it's the same with all the companies that were privatised. All the companies.
So
you know,
why
like
are you not
water, we're saying
fighting
the same
in this
with-
country, for this country, to have a better future for its people?
What's going to do?
But
What this is going to
what's
do
going to do
is
with
going to
this?
separate the people
What are
from
you
what.
going to do with this?
With this,
Yeah,
well,
what
like
do you gain?
that widens it out, because I don't think I'm separate from you or any of the other people here, or any of the people, you know, if people come up and like with George Crosses and say and you know, like did a counter demonstration or whatever, like, I don't think I'm separate from any of you. The question is, like, and I do give a shit, I really care about everyone, and at the moment there are people dying unnecessarily who have been done a grave injustice over the last, well, 100, going back 100 years, and that is breaking my heart. In the same way as it breaks my heart, like, every time I have a conversation with a homeless person. You know, like, it's...
What change does this do today? What change? Every time you come out with these people, what change
If we don't do
happens?
anything, nothing will change. And what's happening here is only a tiny part of just an absolutely massive
Don't you think
global
it's disrespectful?
movement. Disrespectful
Yesterday
to what?
doing it, today doing it.
Disrespectful to what?
Because of October the 7th, because of the killings
I
in Manchester.
I think it'd be just
the terrorists in Manchester. Was he not a terrorist? He was a terrorist, and so was his family.
He was a terrorist, yeah.
Yeah, he was,
Like either that or it's seriously.
Shabib Mahmood did not turn around and also said to not protest about the flotilla, right? About the flotilla incident. Everywhere was protesting. Leeds,
They're trying
Sheffield, everywhere.
to shut down protests.
Right.
That's what's happening.
How can you say that? She is a protester.
She was.
She is a protester.
She was. She hasn't been on a protest for years. It's too. She's taken the quids. You know, like she's turned, just like so many of these Labour leaders have. You know, remember Keir Starmer? Remember when he came? You know, like he stood on an election platform that was basically all of Jeremy Corbyn's policies, like, and you know, nationalisation of this and that and the other, and then he ditched it all.
I'm surprised you don't like Keir Starmer. He recognised Palestine as a state.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hamas came out.
I detest Keir Starmer. I detest him.
So what do you think? Should he have recognised Palestine as a state in the UK?
I think that's all part of just smoke and mirrors. I think what he's talking about by recognising Palestine as a state has so many conditions to it. If you look at what he actually signed up for, it's got so many conditions to it that it's actually just another trap for the Palestinian people. So, my personal view, for me personally, it's not a massive question. If I was sitting around that table and, you know, it was my say-so and should I sign this recognition agreement, I would have said no, probably. But I don't know.
So
I think it's a secondary question.
Who would you vote for?
Like, something we'll agree on is that we are all constantly bullshitted. Yeah.
So who would you vote for if a general election was to come about?
What we disagree with is what's underneath the bullshit and what to do about it.
So who would you vote for if a general election was to come about?
Same as I did in the last general election at the moment.
What was that?
Nobody. Because
Nobody.
I couldn't vote for any of them. No. You know, like.
Okay. Now legally, I'm not allowed to tell you what to vote for, but you know, I'm not going to. I'm not going to. Legally speaking, because you can get in trouble.
What? I'm not bothered. Like, I'm already in trouble anyway. I'm on
Where
bail
have you
at
come
the minute,
from
so.
today?
Me, I've come from North East Lincolnshire today.
Have you?
Yeah, I was in North East
Problems that
Lincolnshire.
side then, weren't you?
Yeah.
Where have you come from?
I thought you two knew each other already.
No, she's a local lady.
I live down here.
All right, okay.
You were getting on my nerves.
All right, okay.
Yeah, and I wanted to know what they
Well,
were doing
well,
and not
respect
doing.
for you for coming out and telling us. Like, you know,
God, you
like
will.
I do. Yeah, no, like.
This isn't going to make a jack shit any difference, but you know, we are the local people.
Right.
So the impact you're having on
Good.
us.
Like, no. I got complete. You know, like we obviously disagree on stuff, but I've got total respect.
We
for
obviously agree on a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, you obviously do.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, and
see it
that's the
more
way.
clearly,
You know what I
obviously.
think?
Can I
we
ask
need
one
to keep
question though?
talking.
Can I ask one question that'd just sum everything up for me, right? I just want to know the answer, your honest opinion on how many people was at September 13th London March.
The September the 13th.
Yeah. What number do you?
Which what is that? Is that the
Tommy Robinson rally, the freedom of speech
It was
rally.
immense. It was huge.
So roughly how many people do you believe turned
it was
up?
north of 1 million, like definitely. If the police said 1.5 million, then you know, like they usually downplay
The police.
It was a huge march. Yeah,
The police, the mainstream media, all turn around and says between 100,000 and 150,000. There was a few different numbers.
They didn't.
They did.
The main news headlines like I got were 1.5 million. That was on like the establishment rated BBC News.
Honestly, the next day, all the articles I seen was between 100,000 and 150,000. There was a couple saying 100,000. There was a couple saying 120,000. There was a couple saying 150,000.
Yeah, no, it was bigger than that. It was way bigger than that.
There was about 3 million people there. There's about 3 million people there.
Well,
And I know because I was
it doesn't
there.
matter.
I was there filming, and the police actually had to barricade off from Parliament Square all the way down Parliament Street to Downing Street, where the screens were, the big screens. They had to barricade it off because they didn't want another Hillsborough disaster. That's how many people was there.
Yeah.
About 3 million people.
Yeah, it's
and there was.
And you know what? I'd like to see those. I'd really like to see those 3 million people, rather than like coming out with like, you know, what were a lot of the slogans. I assume were about round the boats and send them back and stuff like that, or stop the boats or whatever.
I agree with all that.
What if let's take your figure then, 3 million. What if 3 million people did that, got on the streets saying, right, end homelessness now, tax the bloody rich, tax the people who are milking us, tax the people who are milking us.
Yeah, but all the money's going to supporting people who shouldn't be here. So everything's been cut back.
Yeah.
So if we was to say put more tax on the rich,
people keep saying.
if we was to say put more tax on the rich, then put more tax on the rich. Fine, cool, we'll do that, and then that money goes into a big government pot that then goes to other countries, not to this country.
But our international aid budget is tiny as a proportion.
You say that, but how many thousands of pounds were we sent abroad when we are in debt as a country?
How many billions upon billions upon billions of pounds? Go back to what I was saying earlier about the energy companies. Look at their profits. And the oil companies. What if 3 million people are on the street
But a lot
saying
of them
tax
profits
the oil
go abroad.
companies?
There's a lot of those companies.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
I wouldn't want to pay. I would not want to pay more
they
tax.
shift it into offshore. Yeah, absolutely. So
I
we
would
need
not want to
stop
pay more
everything
tax for them to bank it.
China
Like
owns
elsewhere.
some of our water.
And France owns our nuclear energy, you know, like, and you know, but Google, for example, they make bloody billions in this country, and they pay sod all in tax, you know, like, it's really simple to just turn around and face them down and say, right,
But it's not that simple.
You're making billions there.
It's not simple. It's okay to tax the. This is what I'm saying. It's okay to tax the rich, but then that money will still go into this big pot that goes abroad. It will not go back into this country. And that is what the 3 million people. That is what the 3 million people are saying.
The biggest spend in this country is the NHS. Yeah, and like.
And
would mean a vast amount more for the NHS.
So again, going on that. Again, going on that. NHS you've plucked out, yeah? So let me respond with NHS I've plucked out. So we're offering these small boat migrants to come into this country and giving them the free NHS. Because our NHS is a wonderful system. It is free, and it's one of the fewest in the world that are free national health services. Right? It's one of the few that's like that. Yeah. Most countries you got to pay. I know France, America, you know, list them all. You got to pay, right? Or you got to have insurance to be covered for certain things. Okay, so it's a beautiful system that is now getting raided by these small boat migrants that are getting offered free NHS while they're living it up in hotels, getting gaming PCs.
Living it up on £9 a week. That's how much you get.
Have you seen inside these hotels? Have you seen the videos inside these hotels?
Please, like.
You're in denial again.
Video evidence. It's not AI. It's not counterfeit. It's people that have walked in with a camera like mine and walked around and seen these things. Gaming PCs in a front lobby of a hotel, sat there gaming, playing Call of Duty or whatever.
I haven't seen these videos, but
I've
it's all
seen them.
that. Like if we start focusing and saying, you know, like you'll find whatever. If your mindset is that the problem is like what you're calling,
it's what you call fair. You were saying about fair.
Illegal.
It's not fair.
Yeah,
is it?
no, it's not fair. I think they should be given the right to work immediately, so that they're contributing to the economy just like everyone else, so that they can, like, I was going to say rent a house, but they wouldn't be able to afford the bloody rent because the landlords are creaming it all off as well. And you know, since they like started privatising our social housing stock in the council houses, so selling that off and not building more, then no one can afford anywhere to bloody live now. I live in a caravan because I can't afford to, you know, like, and I haven't got a badly paid job, you know, like, so, yeah, like, you know, like.
But the more money that will go into the NHS will be funding this corrupt system that is bringing small boat migrants into the country, giving them the free NHS and opticians and this, that, and the other.
Do you see migrants when you sleep?
Overrun.
How many migrants have you met? And
quite a few. I've tried interviewing quite a few.
And how many stories of why they're here? And
None.
where you come from?
None.
Right. Okay. Well,
the ones I have.
This is something that I'd quite like to see happen. Is have some sort of way of communities getting together so people can actually chat and say, well,
I've tried interviewing quite a few.
Story?
They're very violent towards me, very aggressive, don't want to speak, hide the face, run off. Okay?
Right, the
ones that have been interviewed, the ones that have
scared.
Probably scared of what? Because I'm white.
Well, no, because if you're coming,
but they sit in a window going like this to people that are recording outside of a hotel.
One man in a big group. How can they be scared?
If you're coming in,
like
if you're coming in with a pitch, you know, like your starting point is that you're against this thing that they're part of. It's hardly going to make for you know.
They don't know that.
That's where integration.
They don't know that.
They'd pick up on it pretty damn quick.
I'm on YouTube. I'm on YouTube and Facebook. Yes. If you just Google the name Ryan Rampage, you'll see it. Ryan Rampage.
Right. I do. I've got on Facebook.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of it. I didn't know whether I was still.
You know, you've got a perspective, and your purpose with your perspective is to with your YouTube stuff is to reinforce that perspective. Yeah.
No.
Oh, it's not.
No.
What is your purpose then?
I have my opinion on camera.
You have your opinion. Yeah. Has it ever changed about anything?
Pardon?
Has it ever changed about anything?
Has my opinion ever changed?
Yeah. Do you think it could be changed?
That depends. If I get evidence of everything that I've said to be wrong, categorically wrong,
I'm not saying right. You're categorically wrong here.
No, but I'm saying if I could be proven categorically wrong.
Yeah, but I'm saying, would you be willing to shift your priorities into, you know, like I'd ask you to go away and look at the profits of the oil companies, the profits of the oil companies.
We know all this. We've known all this for years. We've known all this for years.
Companies. Then why? you're saying we can't do anything about it,
No.
but what?
Because we'll tax them more, and then that money will still, I've said this about 3 or 4 times now, that money will still go into the same pot that will go abroad. We are in debt. Will it pay off the debt? It will not pay off the debt.
Absolutely right. That's absolutely
This
right.
country is in
Where's
debt.
it
It
going to
won't.
go abroad?
It's going to go everywhere abroad.
Oh, everywhere.
Yeah, that's me, yeah.
Right.
You just type that in, it'll come up with a photo of me leaning against the fence. But on YouTube, I've got like just under 40,000 subs. And on Facebook, I've got about 16,000 followers. So,
Okay.
yeah, just search that
Another
name.
one then. I'm interested.
Find out.
So, like, go.
So leave you
I would
guys
ask
to
you to
it.
go.
From Hamas.
All right. Well, good to meet
From
you,
Hamas.
even if we didn't agree.
Sorry.
From Hamas.
Yeah. Terrorist slogans.
Sorry.
Murderous terrorist slogans.
So from the river to the sea,
Yeah.
the river what?
The River Jordan.
To the sea,
The Mediterranean.
that covers Israel.
That covers historical Palestine.
That covers Israel as well.
You know what I want
So
to say there?
you
You know what I'd like to say?
asking for genocide of Israeli
No,
people.
absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Like, that is historical Palestine. There were Jews in historical Palestine prior to 1940, prior to the 1930s when they started the sort of modern Zionist
See you
settlement.
guys.
All right,
See you
see you
later.
later. Take care.
Thank you very much.
And all, you know, like what I would like to see is a Palestinian state in which everyone can live side by side. Simple as that. Simple as that. And if there are Jewish people who are unhappy with living in Palestine, occupied Palestine at the moment, who are unhappy with that, then they can leave. You know, their historical roots are in Europe, mainly in Northern Europe anyway.
Do you
Northern and Eastern
actually
Europe.
believe that the Palestinian people, the people of Palestine today, would live side by side with Israeli people?
I think it's the only. I think Palestinian people would definitely. You know, it's been like
and then
that has been
unfortunately-
such a welcoming society. If you look at the history,
Unfortunately, I
of that
think
area.
I'm not about today. I'm not talking about the history. I'm talking today. You asked them, or that was actually proposed to them to live side by side. Do you think it'd actually be viable?
Yes, I do.
Then
I
unfortunately
genuinely
you've been
think
brainwashed. It will not happen. It will not happen.
I think it is the only solution to the horror story that's taking place there at the moment.
Getting rid of
And
Hamas
for
would be
everyone,
the
it's the only hope. You keep going on about Hamas. It's like it's not like, you know,
Hamas are
is-
controlling Palestine.
Hamas. Well, that's not true for a start. You know, like Fatah controls the West Bank.
So then why not get rid of the terrorist organisation that lives in?
It's you're talking about, you keep conflating like putting together Palestine as Gaza. Like Hamas has controlled Gaza since about 2014, I think it is. They were elected. They were elected, and then there was a massive bust up with Fatah for whatever reason. Yeah, but the
Probably because of the
they're the
terrorists.
latest. Well, no, you know who Fatah are, who control the West Bank. They're not designated a terrorist organisation. You know where they came from? They came from the Palestine Liberation Organisation. Yeah, what would this thing that people describe as terrorists?
If Hamas
they're
disappeared
resistance
tomorrow,
movements.
what would happen? What do you think would actually happen if Hamas disappeared tomorrow?
The complete displacement of the Palestinian people.
Really?
Yeah. And I'm assuming when you say Hamas there as well, you're not just talking about Hamas. You're talking about Saraya al-Quds, which is the other main resistance faction, and the Ali Abu Mustafa brigades, and
I'm talking
all
about a
of the
terrorist
other-
organisation that kills women and children.
You keep coming back to Hamas. It's not as simple as there being just Hamas. Yeah, there are a lot of different movements who have been involved
Yes, but stand in the street and celebrate the death to Israeli people.
Well, that wasn't just some outsider. That was
I know.
That was Saraya al-Quds and the Ali Abu Mustafa.
So that was multiple that celebrated death to a young family in the streets.
They weren't celebrating.
And the people of Palestine joined in.
They weren't celebrating their death. They weren't celebrating their death.
It was on a big screen for everyone to see.
They weren't celebrating their death. I think that the way they did that handover was a really, really, really bad mistake. No, I think that was
bad mistake.
Yeah.
That gets to me. That gets to me because that's a very young family, like my family, right now, and you're calling it a bad mistake. That's not a bad mistake.
Well,
that is not a bad mistake.
Words. You can use stronger words, but I'm not like.
The way you play it down does what initially bring to mind that you have been brainwashed by the propaganda that you have been driven to. And it's so unfortunate that you will not use your energy and your efforts to fight for this country that you live in.
Nice punchline, but you talk about me being brainwashed by propaganda.
Yeah.
I've changed my mind about a lot of things over the course of my life. And
because a lot of things that you've probably agreed to has been terribly wrong and terribly bad that you have believed.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Okay.
I wouldn't say that at all. I wouldn't say that.
I believe you making that statement right there. I believe you making that statement right there is something you probably are going to regret, because it wasn't a terrible mistake.
I have to go.
It was brutal murder.
Leave that with me.
Sorry, it was brutal and murderous.
Having a conversation with someone who doesn't listen must be very challenging for you.
No, but
yes, I think you need to get back to your silly life then, don't you? Rather than coming round and
I'm also
waffling.
curious about where he's coming from. You know.
You carry on supporting terrorism, mate.
Do you know something?
Do you know something? I don't care. Do you know something? I don't care. If you're going to stand here in front of me and have a waffle.
Shall I take your litter home for you?
Well, if you want to take it, then you can take it, but it's not litter unless I've left it. I've put it down on the ground.
Are you going to take it home?
Yes, I will take it and put it in a bin.
Well, are you away now?
Yeah.
Yeah, good to meet you anyway. And I'm going to go and rejoin my friends.
Okay, no problem. So there we are, quite a lot of footage of lefty bullshit. More and more. Hang on, I've not even plugged in my microphone. So yeah, lefties leaving, lefties all around leaving. Let's hope they don't leave litter lying about. So let's hope they don't leave litter lying about. Let's hope not.
Yeah, that's just, yeah.
She leaves the singing group. We have a visual now for you.
I think we're being filmed.
Hello.
Where are you from?
Huh?
What you filming for?
What am I filming for?
Yeah.
YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm
You've
a
got a
YouTuber.
YouTube thingy, have you?
I've got a YouTube channel, yes.
What's it called?
What's it called?
Yeah.
I'm not going to disclose that right now.
You know.
I've disclosed it to a few people.
you-
They got a bit.
Are you embarrassed?
Upset.
Are you?
Huh?
Are you embarrassed to disclose it?
Am I embarrassed to disclose it? No, it's just the reaction I got off a few other people.
Oh, what was that then?
It was a very bad reaction. They didn't seem to like my channel.
Why, everybody's got their own opinion, haven't they?
Yeah, everybody's got their own opinion. Would you like to make yours?
No, I just, yeah. I just think killing innocent people's wrong. It doesn't matter where you are, who you are.
So you agree with the abolishment of Hamas then?
Bye.
Can we go now?
Get rid of Hamas?
See ya. Bye. Come on.
Bye.
Move on.
Yep. So you don't
See you now, bye.
want to comment on killing children, but then does not comment on a terrorist organisation. That's quite typical. That is quite typical. And there's a couple down here that we've seen previously. They know who we are. So hopefully today none of this group ends up trying to descend into the factory to break anything. Because as we know, Palestine Action is a terrorist organisation for that reason. Breaking into a base and tagging a plane. So let's hope nothing happens here today. Drives an electric car, Tesla. However, how am I watching a lefty get into a Tesla? What?